season, and I know you've been on Super Bowl teams before in the past. Are there some similarities in this Saints team and some of those other Super Bowl teams you've been on?
Oh, definitely. And we're starting to find our way. Too early to even be talking about the Super Bowl. We still got 8 games left, and we're trying to keep the number one seed, right? But that's the reason why I came here. I came here to win a championship, and I knew that this was the making of a championship team. We started off, rough. Uh, but as of lately, it seems like everything's starting to click. We're starting to get everybody back healthy. We're starting to be, fully united in terms of just the whole squad out there. And I think last week's performance set the bar for how good we can be. So we just gotta stay there.
Next question from Amos Morale.
Yeah, as an offense, you guys are, I believe, at the second best average starting position for your drives. And kind of an obvious question, but how does that help the offense, when you're, getting more favorable field position?
Oh man, it feels good when you look out there and that ball's at the 45-yard line. It's like, if you go 40 yards, you got opportunity for a field goal, and then you're closer to scoring the points. And then when you look in the huddle, you got Drew Brees, and you got all the talent that we got with the O-line and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas out there. It feel like we were more than capable of doing it. So if we can just keep that, that'll be good. I remember 15 when I won a Super Bowl. Like Gary Kubiak was like big on field position, and field position is huge. And so if you can win the field position battle and capitalize on it, that's a recipe for success. And so we got to maintain that.
And I guess just a quick follow-up, how much has the special teams unit here, kind of maybe quietly contributed to that?
Definitely. I mean, we got all pro returner, and Deontay Harris. And he's dangerous, right? Like he's one of those guys where when they're punting to him, you looking like, all right, like this could go to the house at any moment. And so when you got a guy like that back there, I mean, the sky's the limit. And thank God he's on our team.
Next question from Nick Underhill.
The last one gave me a lot of some fans in. This one it's gone up to 6,000. I'm just curious, atmospherically and just even competitively, is there any difference for you guys having some people in the stadium as opposed to it being empty?
I think I've grown to like be used to it, right? At first it was weird, but now like I'm used to it. But when we went out to Tampa, I tell you, like having fans in the stands, like it felt weird, with the crowd noise and trying to hear everything. Like it was just different. I don't know if I liked it or not, but just having fans, I think, just with crowd noise, just semi feeling that high from the fans, it felt good. So hopefully we can have that same this weekend.
And then in San Fran with Shanahan, he's kind of the creative coach with how he uses his personnel and his groupings and everything, and then Sean does that stuff too. Are there any similarities you see just in their approach and how they design offense?
Yeah, I mean they both call plays at work, and how they hit you, like you never know how they're gonna hit you. Kyle, how he schemes up this run game. I've never seen nobody scheme up the run game. How Kyle schemes it up, and just the plays that he called and the way that he goes about his business. Like I mean, he was literally born to be a head coach in the NFL. If you look at his background, and then Sean Payton, he comes up under Bill Parcells, and very smart, very calculated, very on the top of things in terms of predicting what the defense is going to do and putting us in good situations. And so both of them are exceptionally great coaches, and I'm fortunate to be able to play for guys like them.
Next question from Amy Just.
Yeah, obviously you're going to still prepare the same way this week, but with it being the 49ers, feel a little different going up against the team that you play for?
Truthfully, like, they're all blind faces, yeah, that's just how I feel. Like, I know the 49ers are coming in here, but for me, like, I just want to win. I enjoy my time over there, though. Everybody in that building, I cannot say, from the cooks, from everybody to the janitors. Man, I love everybody in that building because every day that I walked in there, they hit me with so much positive energy. And it starts with Kyle. Kyle sets the tone. He's a very positive dude, but he also is about working, and the same amount of work that we put in, we have fun as well. But we worked our butts off. And so I enjoy being over there. But I text Wes Welker. Me and him was texting probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I told him we're about to kick y'all ass. And he kind of laughed back and blase blase blase. But I want to kick their ass, and then after the game, like we can hug it out. But this is gonna be fun, right? Just to play against guys who I was on the same team as last year, and go at it and compete, and that's what it's about.
Next question from Luke Johnson.
Emmanuel, kind of a two-part question here, but what's kind of stood out to you about the Saints culture since you've gotten here, maybe as opposed to some of the other places you've been, and how do you think Quan fits into that?
I think Quan fits in really well. I mean, he's a team first player, right? Like he don't come in and say me, me, me. Like he just works his butt off. He makes his plays. He does his job, and then he goes home and he repeats the next day, right? And so what I call a low maintenance guy. Like you don't have to put too much time in him. You know he's gonna do the right things. You know he's gonna study. And so we blessed to have him, and looking forward to seeing how he fits into our defense. And I know he's gonna bring the energy. Like he's an energetic player, and so I think it was a good pickup for us.
Next question from Brett Martell.
Hey man, what do you remember about this same matchup last year on the same field? It was 11 months ago, and kind of had a standout performance in that game. But I was wondering how memorable it is for you, and how it is to just 11 months later be in the same matchup on the same field with the other team.
Yeah, I mean for me, like I've played so much football that I'm always gonna remember that game, but it's not a game that like I think about like all the time, right? One thing that I do remember about that is I know that we needed that game, and I knew like I just remember like how extremely focused I was in trying to win it because I remember leaving San Fran. We were gone for like 2 weeks. We spent time in Florida because we had 2 games on pretty much the East Coast. We played in Baltimore and we lost to Baltimore. And after that game, I remember we went to Florida and we was hanging out there, and I just knew that it was a sense of urgency of we need this game, right? I just had the feeling it was going to be the battle for the #1 seed, and and I just remember after that game, like I just it felt so great to leave New Orleans with a win and head back to San Fran, knowing that we probably just sealed the #1 seed. And obviously we have a couple more games to play versus Seattle, but I just had a feeling this game. That game that we played was the determining factor for the #1 seed.
So are you waiting for Sean to put in a passing play for you?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We might have some tricks up our sleeve. We'll see.
Next one from Amy Just.
Yeah, back to Quan. I guess what was your reaction when you found out that the Saints traded for him and you've got another familiar face in his locker room?
I think one thing like about me, like when I first got here, like I felt like I was a new guy, but I just be me. So I feel like I adjusted well, like in terms of like knowing people. Like me and Mike have grown close. Me and Traquan has grown close. Me and Curtis Johnson has grown close. Everybody on the team. Me and Cam Jordan, like. And this is a team with good players, but also even better people. And I wasn't really excited for our team. I was more happy for Quan to be able to come over and join this team and be a part of something where I feel like we can win it all. And so like I said, to have him as an addition, man, it's huge for us. And just having his energy around his positivity.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
Is there anything about Marquez Callaway that stands out to you from behind the scenes, his approach in the classroom?
Yeah, he's a young dude that makes plays. Every time you see him, he's making a play. He still hasn't showcased what he's showcased in training camp yet. Like I've seen the dude catch a 15-yard pass and take it to the house. Like he's dangerous. He can be a home run hitter, and I know it hasn't shown yet, but he has that capability, and it's just only going to get better and better for him because he's so young. And he's a good rookie. Like he listens, he pays attention, he wants to be great, and I respect guys like that, and I enjoy being around guys like that.
Last one from Luke Johnson.
Hey, since we were talking about last year, and now you're familiar with both sides. When Mostert called it the Voodoo Dome last year, and all that stuff, and like was talking about like there being a 49ers fan stake over here, were you a little like, hey man, don't say that stuff because we don't want it to be too loud? And what do you remember about that crowd last year?
It was electrifying, but it was a lot of San Francisco fans in there too. That dome was rocking, but every single time that I play in the dome, like it be rocking, and that was part of the reason why I wanted to play in New Orleans. The reason why I signed here is because I want to play in the Superdome in front of that crowd, man. It was just electrifying. So hopefully I'll be able to see that at some point. But definitely, that game last year was crazy. That game was probably the greatest game I've played in. That obviously I played in Super Bowls or whatever, but just from an offensive play calling standpoint of two coaches going at it like it's Madden, it was unbelievable to be a part of and to watch.